Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. This is one of the, if not, I think it is actually the first workout of the kind of prep that I'm doing for the powerlifting competition that I have at the end of January. The goal is obviously to prepare for the meet, but also to just get good at expressing my strength a bit and focus on that and less about trying to push up the weightlifting numbers and more of just general strength while focusing on the technique. So this is the first workout of that program that Derek Mortensen helped me write up. He kind of gave me the outline of it, and I'm adding in the kind of specifics of rep schemes, and he's helped me with that too, which is very helpful. But on this particular day, I wanted to work up to a heavy triple on squats, which was 405 was kind of the number that we all had in mind. An issue that I've been having with squats I actually figured out the other day is my hips felt very unstable at the top. I generally, you get the normal tightness and stuff, but I actually figured out I wasn't really squeezing my glutes at the top. I never really thought about it too much before because it's something I think that just always happened automatically, but for whatever reason I wasn't, so it ended up being an issue at just the very top of the squat. As you can see, the 405 moved pretty decent, but when I was standing there at the top, you can't really tell, but I felt just very unstable. And when I was squatting yesterday, it was only 315, but I was getting that same kind of instability to where like the speed moves fine, but I just feel like at the top I'm not very stable. And I just had the random breakthrough of squeezing my glutes really hard as I got towards the top when you get to like that last little bit, and instantly took away all the instability of my hips and made squats feel amazing. So that's something I need to pay attention to. I have a feeling that's a similar thing that's happening with deadlifts, because I had a similar thing with this workout with the deadlifts that I was doing. The highest I was able to go was 505, where I did it for a hook grip single. The goal was to do it for a triple, but wasn't able to get off the floor on that next one. So I think there's some mechanical adjustments I need to make, and what I just said before with squats with the glutes, I need to really work on actively engaging those and not just pulling with my back, which is very strong, but I also need to use those other movements to make take some pressure off my hips and to put more into my butt. That's what she said. But it's just, looking at the video now, it's just kind of annoying that I didn't know what I should have been doing, which I am doing now, if that makes any sense. I mean, I already figured it out now, and I wish I would have known then. But on this particular day, I was still kind of dealing with the hip stuff, and I actually wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do this workout. I was leaving for home the next day, so I wanted to see if I could do this workout on relatively short rest and perform well before I drove up home, because the next day I would have been able to lift would have been Tuesday, since I wasn't going to try to go anywhere on Christmas to try to lift. But everything went well. I mean, you saw the 405 for 3. That was what I was hoping to get, and it went relatively well. I think if just looking at how it moved, I definitely think the strength, I have the ability to do 1 or 2 more reps, but really excited with squats and even with the deadlifts. Now that I figured out the hip thing, I want to go do some heavy deadlifts now and figure out to see if squeezing the glutes is going to help with that hip instability at the lockout and just help in general. I think it will, because definitely with deadlifts you're using more glutes than you are with squats. With the bench today, it was some moderate bench, and the goal for me was to do like a 5x5. Ended up being a couple sets at 255, and then I dropped down to 245 for a couple more sets. I was still really sore from the last time I benched, and this day just actually made me less sore, which is really nice. So I think it just got some blood moving within the movements, but they all generally felt like good presses and stuff, and bench is just there. I just have to just get used to doing it more, and I think it's just going to be a generally beneficial thing to get my chest a little bit stronger and to just get used to pressing again. And I rather enjoy it now. It doesn't take a lot out of me, and I don't know, I think I want to continue to do it a bit more than I have been, just to help stave off the soreness that is tending to come to me because of the infrequency of my benching sessions. My bench strength hasn't really dipped too much or anything. I mean, obviously on this day it did, just because of the general soreness that I had, but as far as doing a 5x5 or the weights I was doing and the speed they were going, I was generally happy with how they were feeling. I think that should bode well for competition. I'm hoping for a good number. My perfect number would be around like 330, but we'll see how that goes. And you can see here with the deadlifts, I was doing the same thing I was doing before with the hook grip and then using the straps. This is actually a quite fat bar that is very poor knurling, and that was the goal, was to see if I could do that with the hook grip. and to work on that, and actually made, when I was doing cleans and stuff yesterday and snatches, the bar feel really small. So it's kind of a nice little side effect of using a thicker bar for deadlifts and then going to a smaller one for cleans and stuff, because then you really feel like you got your hands around it and stuff. And you can kind of see the issue I have with deadlifts, and I really think it's the glute thing. When you see my hips kind of shoot up a little bit when I go, because I actually feel like I get in a good ideal position for my body to pull. My shins aren't too far forward, I'm not too deep like I would be for a clean, and I just don't think I'm engaging my glutes very much. I lock in my lats really well, I always feel that, and that's been something I focus on a lot. Do you see how my hips just shoot up a little bit? I think it's just that instability there, and this is light enough to where it's not an issue too much, but as I get heavier I start to feel the hips more because of that. See that little hip pop? I really think if I keep my glutes tight and everything, get that more engaged, I think that will bode well for me. At least that's the hope. And on this one, I wasn't able to get this rep here. I just felt everything in my hips and just need to get my glutes involved. I don't know, I keep repeating the same things, but it's just I just want to go ahead and deadlift heavy again, and I do have a lift tomorrow, and this is was from that Sunday, and then I had a lift yesterday, which is Wednesday and the day off. And so I don't know, it's kind of a unique thing with this prep is I'm not lifting as frequently. It's 4 days a week, which I'm actually fine with for the short term, because I'm focusing on the building strength a little bit and also the expression of the strength that I've built from the weightlifting movements, and just kind of, it's like a deload in a way because I'm not lifting as frequently. Like I used to work out 6 to 7 days a week pretty much, and now it's 4 days a week. I'm trying to stay pretty strict with that and try to see where my strength levels are, and I think it will give me a more accurate benchmark of where my ability is on the different lifts if I'm not always lifting in a fatigue state or is trying to recover to get to a less fatigue state. I know it's helped me on push presses I did yesterday. I was able to hit a PR on that, which you can see on Instagram. I was able to hit like a 10-pound PR, which for me, anything that I hit shoulder-wise is crazy, or leg-wise, because I have weak quads and weak shoulders. So anything with that is you know, shocking that I'm able to do. With this thing here, this was recommended by Derek. They're kind of like lateral step-ups, but as you can see, I shift my hips back, and that's me trying to really flex my glute when I'm doing these. And this could have led to the breakthrough that I had with squats yesterday, but I was just really thinking about engaging them and getting them to do work. And I think it's just going to be a huge thing for my squats and for my deadlifts just to think about, which is completely bizarre because I think it was something that just came naturally and it just went away a little bit because of the sub-maximal loads I'm dealing with weightlifting as far as my pulling strength. And that's something I want to get better at, is balancing doing more heavy deadlifts and stuff like that, heavy pulls in general, when I'm doing weightlifting focused training, because I think it's something that is a strength of mine, and it also will continue to build that strength, but it will also just continue to build my hips and stuff, which I don't get quite as much work because I don't do all the low bar squats and as much deadlifting, but I definitely want to do more deadlifting. I like it, and if my hips feel good, then I really like it. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this commentary here. I'll leave you all with the rest of my hack squats, which is just to do more quad work and kind of do, as you can see, some of them aren't as deep. It's kind of do like a deadlift type stance and pauses and different things like that. I like to do it on a leg press, but you can see someone was using it, so I just modified what I was going to do in the hack squat. So I'm not doing all full depth ones, but it's kind of like deadlift type depth, because that's kind of where I would go on the leg press anyway, because you can only go so far till your knees are on your chest. But that being said, I'll wrap this commentary here. Hope you're all having a great day, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Peace.
Thank you.